Hello again. I'm Hassan Muammar. I will be your guide for this little walk through my hometown, Battir. It's a small village just located southwest of Jerusalem. We are only about 8 kilometers from the old city of Jerusalem, and my village became recognized as a World Heritage Site since June 2014. And behind me here in this beautiful view where you can see this green area, it's part of the ancient irrigated terraces that the village maintained for thousands of years. And it's one of the universal values that UNESCO has considered it as a human heritage and must be preserved. So the story started pre-Roman era with this little place here where it's a main water spring, one out of 7 water springs in the village, where it has this yearly water flow all over year round, I mean. And it's the main source of the water where the farmers, they just depend on for their farming and water for their daily life. So this is one of the resources, and it's drinkable water where people depend on it to drink while they are walking around or where they're visiting the area. In the past, it was the only water resource even for house supply. Today, it's the resource that we store the water in another reservoir that I will show you later. And it's part of the aqueduct system that the people depend on. Inside this little window over here, where you can see second source, and there is a little entrance from here where it shows like a natural cave where the main outlet of the water started. I will try to go a little bit inside and just see if that's dark or we can still see something. So it's like it's a bit dark inside, but this is like the natural resource of the cave where it's based behind these mountains all over the area, and the aquifer is just located over there, and the water just flows all the way here. Then it keeps going into underground pipes to go to the second reservoir or the main reservoir where we store the water. But also the farmers, they can take the water directly from the spring on the opposite side to this area. And each dry stone wall or each stone wall of these has a channel that it distributes the water to the land or to the spots that where they just need. Here, this is like one of the yards next to the spring, and it's like an axis for the farmers to go to their fields. But what I also want to show you here, if you just look in this cliff, you will see this old remains of an ancient aqueduct. It's just this one, and it was like the main aqueduct used to transport the water from this spring all along the way to the city center or to the village center inside for the built up area. And from here also, this is another entrance to reach the terraces where you can see part of the aqueducts here. And it has been like since this where it last developed during the Roman period, actually, according to the references we just figured out in the village. The people of Battir, they had their touch and they installed this kind of valves where it's over here, where they can control easily the flow of the water from one direction to another. I'll keep this walk going down to the Roman pool, and here where it's like a small space for people, and also we have a school. But if I will just go back to this area and show you again this cliff or this rocky area where you can see clearly the old shaped aqueduct system inside the rock. And this is a technique that the people used for thousands of years all over Palestine. And it was one of the main channeling systems to take water from a location to another. We have a similar aqueduct system in Rtas village, which used to take the water to Jerusalem. In this case, no, it's only for this area. Getting down in these stairs down here, we will start with part of the aqueduct. It's like fall and winter season, so people, they don't cultivate much now, but you can see the atmosphere of the fall season and the atmosphere of the winter, as we're gonna have a cold one soon. From here, this is the axis or part of the trail to go down to the terraces. And from here, where also we can see some of the terraces down there, and you can see how it's shaped in small squares where the farmers used to cultivate different types of plots. I will continue here where you can see this flower pots and this pipe. Basically, this is the additional system the people of Battir installed for the system during the 60s to transport the water more efficient to get to the reservoir or to the Roman pool. And where you can see it from here, and this is a greeting panel to welcome people to come and visit Battir. And from here, where I'll show you the water flow of the aqueduct, where it keeps going all along the way until it reaches the reservoir. This part of the aqueduct has never been touched before, so it dates back to the Roman period. And the people of the village, they maintained this part to keep the water axis going through the area, and it keep going from here down to the Roman pool, which is the only reservoir for water in the area that the people depend on for their irrigation during summer season. So here you can see the water, you can see part of this arch and the aqueduct system and the waterfall that goes down to here. And you can see that the water amount is quite full. So the pool itself, it's full nowadays because there is no use of the water for the farmers these days. And it keeps filling the pool all over winter season. And it's actually one of the magnificent elements of Battir, where people, they just come to enjoy the view and the water, and also buying products from the farmers, organic products, where the village is famous of its vegetables, and especially the Battir eggplant, where it's normally grown here. So if we overlook this view, this is part or the continuity of the terrace system and the irrigated terraces, where it's all used to be cultivated during summertime with different kind of crops and vegetables, mainly the Battir eggplant, which is unique in this area, and it's very famous all over the region. Over here, you can see some people, they're just have been walking down the trail, and now they are getting up, going back to the spring. And also some of them, they take a break in this station here, where it's a small cafe and restaurant. I will continue to go down to show you some other parts of the aqueduct system, and how the system of distributing the water is a really unique one that is still used until nowadays. It's 2,000 years old system, and people still use it with the same old techniques. So from here, I'm going to show you this main outlet for the water pool, for the pool inside, whereas there is a valve, and the people, they can control it to open and close the water flow, where it follows the second channel, which is this one, and it keep going all the way here to go to the other fields. So from here, if you follow the path, you follow the aqueduct as well, and then you keep going all along the area to reach this natural beautiful cliff over there, which is also one of the natural marks, natural and cultural landmarks in the village that people has been using for thousands of years as well. And it's also part of the universal values of Battir. Meanwhile, while I'm stopping here, there is an intersection for the trail where we just came through this path. But if we look here, you will see this little stairs with another aqueduct that's bringing the water from the main channel that we've seen upstairs. And it keeps going to follow the main aqueduct. But over here, what I want to show you is again this. I'll go back a little bit, and then you can see it may be more clear. This huge shaped cliff where you can just enter into here, and you see it here. This is a space where the farmers, they used to store their products and vegetables during their daily work, to keep it here as it's a cold spot, because as sun doesn't raise here, it keeps remained as a cool place where people called it the frigidaire. So it was like an important spot for the farmers. The path continues down here, all the way down until we reach the valley, where the aqueduct system is still following all the path down there, and there is intersections to go for each plot alone. Recently, we started a project with the municipality of Battir to restore the dry stone walls. It's an old technique of putting and building the stones together. And in Battir, we have a significant number of these dry stone walls, around 554,000 linear meter of these terraces. And it has been built over several civilizations. And we, as a people of Battir today, we inherited all that and try to preserve it. From here, also, we can see this beautiful small building where we can see the sign maybe a little bit over here. It's saying Abu Yazid Shrine. He's one of the Sufi imams. He used to settle in Battir in around the 12th century. And he used to be one of the important people and visitors to the village, where he decided to create his shrine in this overlooking beautiful view. And you can see more here, maybe a different type of crops. The people, they just start planting for winter season. And you can see one of the new maintained water channels that we also recently start doing a project to maintain them, in addition to this new dry stone wall building all over the area, where we are thinking to renovate it for a purpose of a green area where we can create more spaces for the people. Down here, I'm not sure if it can be seen well, but maybe you can see part of the valley where we also have the railway, where both the railway track and the aqueduct system intersect together for this area. So the railway track is part of the Hijaz railway, used to connect between Jerusalem and Jaffa all along this valley. And the aqueduct system used to go underneath the railway track to the other side, where the farmers keep cultivating their plots. So from here, we are so close this direction to Jerusalem. And from this side, we are so close to the main highway links to Tel Aviv. This area has been preserved from any construction of settlements, illegal settlements, or separation barrier. And fortunately, we have it like this until nowadays. And where you can see this views and the terraces, and maybe you can see some farmers now. It's their last chance working the field, because the rain is starting over soon tonight or today. So it will show also some of the lemon trees and the other activities that the people is doing. In this spot, I think it could be more clear to show you some lettuce broad beans, fool. This is like winter crops that the farmers cultivate. I will go back up a little bit and show you more of the area from like a top view. And if I just change the camera position to this direction, where you can see more the cliff and where you can see more the natural cliff I've tried to explain you about. Continuing with the trail this direction, it will lead us to go to the old village or to the center of the village, where it will be the station where the farmers used to settle since hundreds of years. And all this is a new project now with the municipality. We are trying to maintain most of these terraces. And from here, you can see part of the new work that we managed so far. And hopefully it will be cultivated with some trees this year and for the season. I will show you also this direction of the village, where you can see the built up area and some of the old houses, and also the green spots of the terraces. Well, this is part of the trail today. I should keep more to tell you later. So this is just a brief about Battir and what do we have in Battir. I hope you enjoyed and you will enjoy watching this video, and looking forward to show you more of these trails and more of Palestine.